News Channel 15 presents The Film Reel, the best place to find out what's coming to theaters and your TV screen. It's The Film Reel. Hello and welcome to The Film Reel, your number one source for movie and TV news here on News Channel 15. I'm Bryce West, and welcome to the new set of The Film Reel. This is definitely a lot different than what you guys are probably used to, and of course, I probably don't need to explain this, but the world is kind of changed. Everything is not the way it used to be, and so with that being said, IECC has said that students are no longer allowed on campus of Wabash Valley College and all the other colleges related to IECC, which I completely understand and I appreciate their concern for the student safety. However, that meant that I was no longer able to get into the studio to film the film reel. So instead, what I have done is I have created this impromptu set here. This is in my bedroom. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the green screen so you can see what it actually looks like in here. So yeah, this is definitely going to be very interesting to see how this all turns out. I hope it turns out well for everybody. A couple more changes to the show here. I'm going to turn that back on now. Some changes here. So obviously I'm here by myself. We were debating on whether or not we should travel to other people's houses to film the show so we could still have co-hosts, and we decided that that would not be a good idea. That would be unsafe, and so we're going to go ahead and just keep it just in one location, just right here in my bedroom, filming the show. And as for other hosts, of course, Kane, I'm still working on that. I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. We might have him call in and then record what he has at his house himself. There's going to be no traveling involved. We want to make sure that everybody stays safe and that we are not spreading anything. So no matter what happens here, host-wise, everything will stay in one location no matter what. We are not going to be leaving our houses. There's a stay-at-home order in Illinois, and we plan to obey that order. And so, as well as Indiana, where Kane lives. So, it's just one of those deals to where we have to deal with what we have right now, and this is what we have. So, we're going to go ahead and get right into the show with the box office results. This is going to be very interesting for you guys here. So, Phoenix, Oregon came out, and it grossed $3,842 at the box office. Number one, by the way, that was the number one opening. And I don't know if it actually opened. I think it did actually open this last weekend, actually. But it's about two friends seize the opportunity to quit their jobs in order to find their new calling, restoring an old bowling alley. So this opened at number one with $3,842. I cannot believe I'm saying that out loud. So somewhere in the United States, there's a theater still open. I did not know that was a thing, actually. But Phoenix, Oregon opens at number one. And coming in at number two, the final movie opening in the entirety of the United States, Lost in America comes in at $78. Former Navy veteran and homeless youth director Rodney Rainwater shows viewers the realities of life on the streets as he travels the country to shine a light on the epidemic of youth homelessness in America. So yeah, two movies opened this weekend, or was viewing this weekend. I know Phoenix, Oregon opened this weekend. I don't think Lost in America opened this weekend. I think that opened a while ago. But so yeah, two movies we're still able to watch. So if you watch those movies, congratulations. You're a part of a group of very few people. So yeah, theaters of course have closed all across the world. And yeah, apparently some slipped through the cracks there and made not even $4,000 combined with the two of them. So very, very interesting stuff to see right there. So yeah, those are the box office results for last weekend. So moving on here, If you're binge watching Netflix anyway, why not get $1,000 to do it? The Internet Advisor is sponsoring a contest where you watch the first 2 seasons of Ozark. That amounts to 20 hours of content. After seeing all 20 episodes, you'll be asked to complete a quiz on the show where there are no restrictions or mandatory drug tests. The winner will get $1,000 as well as some Ozark-related swag. Organizers say you must apply for yourself and not for someone else. The crime drama is set in the Ozarks, stars Jason Bateman and Laura Linney. Let's take a look at a clip. To register, go to internetadvisor.com and fill out the form by March 27th. Why March 27th? That's when Season 3 of The Ozark is released. So moving on to some news from The Mandalorian, Rosario Dawson, famous for her appearances in Rent and Daredevil, has been cast as the fan-favorite character from Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka Tano. This is very exciting news for Star Wars fans as well. Ahsoka is well known for being kind of the surprise character in Star Wars The Clone Wars all those years ago back in 2008 because, of course, if you watch Star Wars, you know about Anakin Skywalker and his journey to becoming Darth Vader. However, before all the TV shows came out, we never knew that Anakin Skywalker had a Padawan named Ahsoka Tano, and now in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano will be making her first live-action appearance as she has only thus far appeared in animated series. So this is definitely going to be very interesting to see. Now, keep in mind, The Mandalorian takes place significantly after her appearances in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. So it'll be interesting to see how Ahsoka really fits into the plot of The Mandalorian and how she will kind of affect the characters involved in that. So at this time, we would normally take a break here, but we're going to go ahead and do 15 minutes, no breaks here. We will see how that works. Like I said, we're just trying some things here. This is definitely one big experiment right now. As you can see, there's definitely some clouds covering the sky right now. I'm using lighting from my window to light the set here, so I think it might have just gotten darker. So, like I said, we're dealing with what we got here, so I thank you for understanding and appreciating like all the hard work that has gone into this. Because, yeah, this is way beyond what I thought was going to be going on right now. So, like I said, I appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next story now. The Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics have been delayed until 2021. So this is, of course, a big deal. Because, I mean, the city of Tokyo has spent like probably billions of dollars to make the Olympics happen. And now the Olympics, of course, have to be delayed due to the effects of COVID-19 just across the world right now. And understandably so. I don't know exactly what is going to happen now. Of course, I mean, it will. I know it will be delayed a year, but I wonder if this will still be called the 2020 Summer Olympics. Of course, it is taking place in 2021, but I have a feeling that they're probably going to want to get back on track to the schedule after this is all over, because if you move all the years, then that's just kind of going to mess up everything else past this Olympics. So I assume that the Winter Olympics will still happen in 2022. I have no insider information on that, but as of right now, all we know is that the Summer Olympics in Tokyo for 2020 has been delayed to 2021, and we have no idea how this is going to affect future Olympics, but once we know, we will definitely be sure to let you know. Moving on to our next story, when is a theatrical release not a theatrical release? David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
By all appearances, most movie theaters will still be closed due to COVID-19 on April 10th. That's when Universal says Trolls World Tour will be available on home video and in theaters. That's not sitting well with John Fithian, head of the National Association of Theater Owners. He tells The Hollywood Reporter it's fine for studios to shift movies in current release to home video, but other big studio films scheduled for release later this spring have been pushed back, ensuring they'll run in theaters eventually, except Trolls World Tour. Says Fithian, exhibitors will not forget this.
Fender Play is designed to change the way you learn to play guitar.
Ever wanted to learn guitar and suddenly find yourself staying home with time on your hands? Fender Play, the guitar maker's online school, is offering 3 months of free guitar, bass, or ukulele lessons to the first 100,000 new subscribers who sign up. Details on the Fender website, which notes, "We're all going to be spending more time inside, so we might as well make some noise." Figuring out my frets in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So Trolls World Tour is so far is the only movie to do this. Most other studios have given some sort of at least warning and let the theaters know what their plans were for these upcoming releases. Most of them opted to delay the movie, but Trolls World Tour and Universal decided that they were going to go ahead and just release it straight to VOD, video on demand, and the theaters are upset, and I kind of understand both sides here. So the theaters are obviously upset because Universal only gave the theaters like 20 minutes notice before they said that they were going to just go straight to video on demand for this release, which is obviously a big problem because the theaters were expecting Trolls to open in theaters, and they were expecting to get the ticket sales from, or at least some sort of money from Trolls World Tour. So that's a lot of money that the theaters are going to be losing there. And then I understand the side from Trolls because they had already started to kind of market the movie. So it's really kind of it's a really tricky situation here because Trolls had already spent the money to market the movie that it was going to be out at a certain time. And if they delay the movie, then they've wasted all that money on that marketing. However, with them just releasing it right there, that means that the theaters are never going to see any of that money, whereas most of the other studios are choosing to delay the movie. So it will still come out in theaters, most of the other movies, but not Trolls. So that's really kind of why the theaters are upset there, and I kind of get it, because it's not like Trolls had already opened. Like, most of the movies that you see going on video on demand right now already opened, and their theatrical run was basically killed by COVID-19. But with Trolls, the movie never opened, and so they just released it straight to video on demand, and so the theaters are never going to see any money from that at all. So it's kind of rough, but it's also one of those deals to where it's a tough decision to make. So I can't really say who's right and who's wrong. The situation could have definitely been handled a little better, I believe, but it's just one of those deals to where we are in unprecedented times here. So we will just have to wait and see how all this affects everything later on. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here on the Film Reel. I would like to thank you for understanding the circumstances that we are in right now, and this has definitely taken some effort here to put together. So I appreciate you guys watching the Film Reel and continuing to support us here at News Channel 15. With that being said, I am Bryce West, signing off. Take care.